For these last problems, they really focus on the graphical side of functions. So for this first example here, we're going to find the domain and range. So just a quick review. Domain, of course, those are our x values. Range, those are our y values. And remember, everything's alphabetical. So x comes before y, d comes before r for domain and range. So hopefully you've noticed that before. So for the domain, I want to look at the furthest points to the right and left of this function. So you can see right here that if I go to -4, that this graph also, the furthest it goes to the right is -4. So that's my lowest point. And then my highest point is right here. So my furthest point to the right is right here at +1. And then I'm going to write that as an inequality. So -4. And notice there's open circles on the end, so there's no equal to x, because this is domain, and then less than 1. It's always less thans because we start with the lowest point, which is the least. The x is in the middle, that's the graph. The 1 is the highest. So looking at the y values next, we can see if I go from the bottom to the top, the lowest value that my graph starts at, the bottom of this graph is right here at 0. So I'm just going to put a line there to remember that. And then as I go up, I can see the highest point of my graph is right there at 5. So I'll put a line there. So for this one, my lowest point is 0. Now there's no, look at this, there's no open circle here. So we actually want to put the equal on this one, less than or equal to y, and then that goes up to 5. For example 9, remember what a function represents. It's f of x is equal to y. So all of these values inside the parentheses, those are my x values. And I want to find the corresponding y value. That's what I'm looking for here. If I go to -1 on my graph, I can see that the graph crosses right there. The y value is 0. For the next one, when x is 1, so I go to where x equals 1, and I go up to my graph, I can see right here the y value is 2. Next, once again, I've got an x value of 2, so 2, and go up, my y value is 3. And then for the final one, if I go to 4, now this is where you have to be careful. You might say that 4 is also 3. But that's an open circle. That means it's not equal to that point. It's equal to this point here. This is 5. So the correct answer is 5. I've renumbered this unit so I know that it says 4.3 there, but this was actually 4.4, which was function transformations. And this is the one where you just need to know those rules. So for our first example here, we've got f of x, and then this graph over here, this is our original f of x. So this is what our original graph looks like. Then you're going to take what it tells you to do. So here it says to add 4. And you just need to know what your transformations mean. So this one would mean to shift up by 4. The next part has a multiplier. So we're multiplying by 0.25. So this one is actually going to be a vertical shrink. We're going to look for one that looks squashed down. Anytime it's less than 1, it shrinks. If it's greater than 1, it's going to be a stretch. It'll get skinnier. So this one will look shorter and fatter, but if it's a stretch, it'll look skinnier and taller than the original. Our next example, this one has added a negative, so that is a reflect. So this is a reflection over the x-axis. The final one here has the +3 inside the parentheses. That means it's affecting the x value, not the whole function, just the x value. So this is a shift. And since it's +3, remember it's always the opposite. When we mess with x, it causes some issues. So it's not to the right, it's to the left. So this is shift left. So if it's positive, you shift to the left. If it's minus or negative, you shift to the right. Now let's match those to our graph. So here's my original graph. And you can see on this first one, A, it's completely upside down. Well, that's a reflection. So this first one is A. Next, for B, so let's take a look. Here's my original. I can kind of, if I use this point as a guide, I can see that that point now has been shifted to the left by 3. So this B would go with our last example. Okay. Then for C, remember I talked about that shrink. Do you see this looks squatter and flatter? So it's like it's been smashed down. That's C. So that's that vertical shrink. And then our last example here, we can see that this point, if we use that as a guide, it was right here, and that has been shifted up from its original position. So that was D. And you just need to know those rules. I would have them on a scratch piece of paper or some kind of study guide so that when you take the test, all of that material will be available for you.